Hi, it's Tuesday. I'm Sara Haines, and I'm here with Sara Haines. We're going to get into this. This is horrifying. If you have children at home, you probably want to put them away. They shouldn't be watching this. If you're listening, this is the time to subscribe to our YouTube and see the image that we're talking about.
For as embarrassed as I was before, I'm now mortified because you're confirming every fear I have that it's as bad as I thought.
Welcome to Behind the Table. All right, let's get into this. This was on your Instagram. This looks like, I don't know what this looks like. This looks like a corpse.
Okay. So I had been out to dinner with a group of girlfriends who I adore. So
Yeah.
for anybody that really thinks they were doing me dirty, they were not. They're the sweetest group. We had so much fun. I come home and I hadn't looked in the mirror and I go to wash off my makeup and I'm like, oh. And then I thought, how long has that been there? And I panicked. So I wrote the girls. But they are so fun, but we don't see each other a lot. So this was really fun that we all got together, and literally the excuses are down the text chain.
Let's hear it. So basically you came home, you looked in the mirror, horrified.
Yeah, and I said, were my eyes like this at dinner?
Yes.
And one by one, it's like, oh my gosh, to be honest, I noticed, but I thought it was the lighting in there. I only noticed at the very end when we got to different lighting. Oh, it was so dark in there. I thought it was your look on purpose. I mean, I'm 50. I don't know how the kids are wearing their makeup these days.
Wow.
I was literally, so this is the thing. I love these women, and I was so excited when they invited us out because we all have hung out in the summer. We play tennis.
Hold on, I got to turn this over because I can't keep looking at it.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
So I was so excited when they invited us. We all found a date, and it's so hard scheduling things. I actually adore them. I don't think they know me. They're not that friend that's going to look at you and be like, what the heck's going on with your face?
Right.
So I was feeling so joyful that we'd all hung out. When I looked, I was so embarrassed that friend group had watched me and my face melt away.
But how did it happen? Are you a vampire?
No.
Do you not have a reflection that you see in mirrors?
So because I have to wear makeup for work, otherwise clearly you're scared of my face. I had
to be clear, you're a beautiful lady. You walk in the morning. You look great when you walk in with no makeup in the morning.
Really?
Yes. I don't even notice when you have your makeup and when you don't.
That's a lie. Okay. So the first part I believe. But so my eyes get really sensitive to eye makeup, and I had Vaseline in the corners for these little tear things. Well, it was like a little highlighter. So I had smeared it like this, forgetting that mascara, if your eyelash hits, it just pulls the mascara right off.
Okay.
So that had probably been happening the entire night. Because I walked into the dinner with the Vaseline on, and I walked out looking like my face was gone.
This is because you have makeup artists when you're here, and you're used to people just tending to you and taking care of you, and you can't exist in the real world without it.
Clearly, you're right. I mean, I wish I could argue with you, but that's what happens when I'm on my own.
This brings to mind my favorite photo of you, besides this one, which is my new favorite photo.
The chewing food?
Well, chewing food was great, but no, my current favorite of you was the shot of you at the U.S. Open.
The chewing food?
Oh, that's when you were chewing food.
I was eating
We can
snacks.
throw that up there, yeah.
Oh, which is add that too. Let's get them all, guys.
Hold on, call my phone right now.
Wait, don't even tell me, Brian Tedda.
Hold on.
Wait a second. Wait. Oh my God, I'm really like. Wait, I've got another bone to pick with you, Brian.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
That birthday gift you gave my son.
Yes.
So Brian did a birthday gift, which was a video for Alec.
Your son, Alec, turned 10 years old.
Yep. And he wanted all his, I wanted to surprise him with all his, I'm quoting, friends. And that's who he considers all these amazing people at work. So I had this group that I got them all to do individual videos. Brian does a video, which I still have on my phone if we want to play it, saying, I'm going to give you one pass because at home, your mom's the boss. Here, I'm your mom's boss. So I'm going to let you pick one thing. Anytime you want, you can use this. And you say, Mr. Brian told you could do it.
That's right.
That kid has been wielding that like a sword. So last night he tried to tell, now we went to a basketball game. Like he had his gift. He had everything. So Mama, when I used my Mr. Brian thing, he was trying to have an overnighter. We don't just sleepovers yet.
Sure.
He said, no, but Mr. Brian. And I was like, I wanted to be like, oh, Mr. Brian was being sweet, but he was like joking. But he's so excited that he's like, guess what? And he tells everyone.
To get out of jail free card. I love it.
My mama's boss, Mr. Brian, told her that
That's
I
right.
could ask. He keeps asking, okay, do you want to talk about the Mr. Brian gift?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it was a nice note. Just forget about it. Like, am so annoyed right now.
I was so proud of myself when I thought of that.
And it was so cute the first time he heard it because that was the video he was most excited about. The problem is he's not forgotten.
Sure. Well, you have to get a video from my boss, Heather, and she can tell.
We're going straight to the top, guys. Do you have Bob Iger in the phone?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh, now Josh tomorrow. Bob Iger's
Oh,
done.
Josh tomorrow,
Yeah,
yes.
of course. Well, you mentioned going to a game last night. That's a pretty great gift. You went to the Knicks game. I saw a photo of you guys on the court.
Yes.
That's
well,
amazing.
so normally what we do is the kids will have a party, and a lot of parents now do these group gifts where if you just, one, I always say gifts aren't necessary. If you want to
Right.
throw some money into this pot, it's better than getting people bringing all kinds of little gifts. And then lately the kids had wanted to go to a Broadway show. So the last 2 years I've taken that money, gotten a ticket, and each one comes in with Mama
That's
for
great.
a Broadway show. This year, Alex said, I don't want a Broadway show, Mama. I want a Knicks game. And I thought, that's perfect because it's the experience. So we planned it. He picked the Warriors in looking at the schedule because we're a Steph Curry. We're Knicks fans, but we
Right.
love Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found out a few days before he wasn't going to even be playing because he's injured.
Right.
But Robin, Miss Robin, who's one of my bosses as well, had mentioned, I never meet people, say hi to people, but we worked with Steph Curry almost 10 years ago on a really special segment.
That's right. Yeah.
For Homes for Our Troops with Tim Burkhead, who we adore. He's since passed, but the organization was giving him a home. Steph Curry offered, Tim was the biggest Steph Curry fan, offered to fly across the country just to be there for this segment. Like there's no money involved. There's nothing.
Yeah.
He came because that's the kind of guy he is. And at the time, I remember I just found out I was pregnant with Sandra. I can't believe how much time's passed. Robin mentioned you should say hi, and you can say hi because, you know
him.
We know him.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of it because I'm really hesitant with the job I have to show the kids too much.
Right.
Aside from the obvious, you raise spoiled, entitled kids, there's something more precious to me. And it's that so much of the joy and the magic in the world to me is that I didn't have good seats when I went to a game or a concert. I didn't go to great restaurants. I didn't go to Broadway. I'd never been to New York. Keeping some things really special. Otherwise, the kids lose track of what's special. They
100% agree.
expect things. So I really was torn. But when Robin said that, I thought this is special because I've worked with Steph. He's such a great guy. So I did reach out, and he was so kind and was like, yes, I'd love to say hi. And so we didn't tell Alec, though, because I also think if you're going to do something like that, planting the seed starts the brain with.
Absolutely. Make it more of a moment. Yeah.
I didn't tell him anything. And he was like, do you think we'll even see Steph? And, and I purposely showed him the pictures from that segment again, reminding him of the story because he knew who Tim was.
Right.
And I was reminding him how great Steph was and the last time I'd seen him. So when we get there, we're sitting on the court, the shoot around. This is the beginning. We go for the warm up. We want to see as much basketball as we can. Steph's person came over and was texting me and started to walk us around the court. And I thought, I wonder if Alec's putting this together. He just knew I had a friend named Mr. Raymond. He walks us all the way around. We meet him. Later, I say to Alec, when did you realize you were going to meet Steph Curry? And he's like, when he looked at me and said, hi, I'm Steph Curry. But Alec's little brain was blown.
I'm sure. He must have short-circuited. I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
Well, and it had been Steph's birthday the day before, so they were bonding on being Pisces. I was really proud of Alec because in that excitement, I didn't know if he'd make eye contact. He looked right at him. He was captivated by him. He was asking questions. It was really sweet. But Steph Curry is literally the creme de la creme. He was. I thought that 10 years ago when he came, he flew. His team was going to China to train off season, and when he got the call from us and we told him what the story was, he's like, sure, I'll fly 6 hours the opposite direction. And remember, he forgot his wallet or his passport or something. Something awful happened on that trip that then he had to scramble even further. But he was waiting in the bathroom in this house while Whoopi and I were with Tim. And Whoopi kept teasing him, who put Steph Curry in the bathroom? He just stayed. The whole segment was...
It was really great.
Beautiful.
It was really great. I don't know if we can put it up again, but we should if we can.
Yeah. Well, and even Steph said, I can't believe it's been 10 years. And I was writing with Tim's mom that night saying, I'm thinking about Tim even more today.
Oh,
and
that's really sweet.
It was a really beautiful moment that was great for Alec, but it had even more meaning behind it.
Yeah, and Alec will understand why you know Steph now, and think about that too.
Well, when we first moved, I had one of my last conversations with Tim, and we were at the local park, and I was expressing who this was I was talking to, and Robin was on the call, and Tim died soon after, so it was the last time I spoke with him. But the kids knew I was talking to someone special, so I always, when I passed the park that day, Sunday, when I knew Alec was going to meet Steph, I reminded him on the way to church. I was like, "Do you remember the pond and the phone call?" Yeah, we remember, Mr. Tim. And so I had everything freshly seated there so he could understand beyond the basketball why I loved Steph. And it was a good reminder also, Steph is a very deeply faithful person. And Alec's like, "Steph goes to church?" And he was all excited. So it was nice to be able to show him a role model that really fills those shoes.
All right. So Steph Curry, Mr. Bryan. That's kind of the...
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Well, it's great.
Mr. Bryan.
All right. Well, I'm glad. And he loved the game, I'm sure. And the Knicks won?
The game, it was close. The Knicks did pull it out at the end.
There you go.
Awesome game.
Oh, it's always fun. Live basketball is one of the best things to watch, I think.
And all three of us, Max, myself, and Alec, are all obsessed with basketball. So it's that thing you share.
The other kids get jealous, even though it's the birthday, they didn't get to go?
They get a little jealous, and then they remember they had to watch a basketball game. So both are like, "Peace out. We'll stay with the babysitter."
That'll do it. Now, when you got home from the game, I heard there was another makeup incident.
Oh, my God. So I go to the mirror to wash off, and my makeup's down my eyes again. And I had just spoken to the babysitter. We hadn't seen her in a while, so I'm thanking her, doing the long goodbye. I go up and I say, "Max." He's like, "Oh, that definitely happened in the car." I was like, "You could have told me before I talked to Lily." So I had to write Lily right away. I'm like, "Hey, and sorry about my eyes. It looked like we were like this party couple."
Maybe sunglasses all the time or something, even at night?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Then I still look like I have a problem of some sort.
I mean, sure.
But then I wrote her and she goes, "No worries. I figured you guys had a great night of laughing." I was like, so she thought about it while she looked at my face.
Everyone thought about it. Everyone thought about it. Everyone's talking about it.
I can't.
There's this thing that's gone viral on Long Island now. Have you guys seen this about April? There's a guy who gets off the Long Island Railroad in the Hamptons and said, "This message is for April. I don't know who you are, but if you have 3 friends that were on the train tonight coming from New York City to the Hamptons, they're not your friends. They've been talking about you for the last 2 hours, all about how they're just using you for your house and taking, and it's like the most brutal thing. He's like, you need to know April." And then the internet like came alive trying to find April. I believe April's been found, but this could have been your friends all talking about your makeup.
Oh my God, those little bitches.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't think it's that, but I am still mortified.
All right. Well, keep an eye out for April. All right.
Poor April.
Let's go back to one of the hot topics from today. There was the Kiss Cam HR exec speaking to Oprah. This is, of course, the famous Coldplay incident. For those of you who don't remember, the story went viral last year when the couple was caught on a Kiss Cam at a Coldplay concert. It ended up being the CEO and a head of his HR. What was your biggest takeaway from her conversation with Oprah?
So in what I witnessed, there was a lot of conversation about the marriages, the separations, and I kind of thought, wow, I hope they understand the accountability part that people are upset with, because I don't think the reason it went so viral was because people are cheating. That happens every day, all the time. That's their personal business, private. Their reaction was humorous, but the whys of it, we don't need to know. The rage, I think, came from, you've got a CEO and a head of HR, and I don't even care the gender of either. They could swap. They are the tip top. They hold the power, and they get to play by other rules. And that's the part that I think people were aligning with, because we've seen so many stories over the last, I don't know how many years, really tragic ones, like the killing of the CEO, to, politics right now, and Epstein, and people just not being held accountable. If you have power, if you have rank, you get away with things. And I think that was a moment where people felt there was some justice done. They got busted. And it wasn't because they weren't with their spouses. It was more, you got busted and you are literally the CEO and the head of HR. The head of HR is the person you go to when you're disclosing relationships. They're the ones that might come to you to fire you if you were doing the same thing. So it just felt like a disconnect and tonally off in the world we're living in right now. And I think that was the interest.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I do I do feel bad because I think she's been subject to a lot of
The
abuse.
reaction, just to be clear,
outsized the
was
crime.
entirely a mob mentality.
It was a
of
hot
awful.
topic on this show. I mean,
That I
you know,
expect. Hot
yeah.
topic, chit chat, people talking about it, fine. Death threats, anger, verbal abuse, way outside of bounds.
No, I agree. And now, here's the question, though. If she's trying to move past it, because even right now, we talked about it today, I couldn't tell you her name off the top of my head. I couldn't recognize her if I walked by her. Is it a good idea for her to go on an interview with Oprah? Do you think she wants this kind of press?
So I don't think it's the press. I think she's trying to justify something.
Yeah.
Because I think, there are times we knowingly or willfully avoid what we know, and other times we blindly avoid. I think the fact that she's addressing all the marital parts is a deep-seated guilt of something. The marriage part, maybe that's what the hate is about, is like families that are torn apart or infidelity.
Yeah.
But she seemed to only be explaining away, oh, I was separated and he was separated. And she was kind of missing the massive part that I'm talking about. And I don't know how much she owned that part.
Right.
And that to me was the more crucial part.
Right. I think I agree about that. Although the infidelity, not great either.
No, but I think sometimes people end up getting in more trouble when they go out to explain themselves. I think she's feeling like, I need everyone to know, like, I was separated.
Well,
and
that's my point.
He was...
Maybe I think the better action for her probably would have been let this go. And 2 years from now, it's on a third dinner date. Do you remember that thing? That was me. Like,
or recognize that, like, in this day and age, sometimes things are just what they are, and you're not going to get a chance. It's kind of like what other people think of me is none of my business.
Right.
It sucks, I'm sure.
No, and it was a bad thing to be caught on a Coldplay camera, kiss cam doing, but it could have been worse. I mean, she could have been.
But even oh my gosh.
Can you imagine if you were on the
Summer,
Coldplay
take
camera
that
like this?
away from him.
I mean, that would be crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? Even this part, she says in the interview, I was walking into the arena and I thought, oh, is this going to be weird if I run into her estranged husband? But she was willingly walking into an arena of 55,000 people that could have been employees, could have known someone that knows someone. The part that was more offensive to me was not the personal part. It was the professional part. And she seemed to still discount that, which makes me think she's not getting it.
Yeah, I think you might be right. And again, I want to apologize for people who are just listening to the audio-only version of the podcast.
That you're missing out on the picture of my face.
Holding up the picture of Sarah's face. I always think it's a good idea, but particularly today, go to our YouTube, subscribe, download.
Guys, please watch.
Like.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's
freeze
awesome.
frame. Make it your wallpaper.
You know what? I sat in a dinner through that. I talked to a babysitter like that. Clearly, this is my more signature look at this point.
It's really, I was like, is this from the new Frankenstein? Like, what is happening?
I think he's going to change his screensaver today because my makeup looks great in the eating picture that you put on your... I can't believe you did that.
I love it so much. All right. A mom of four sparked debate online after sharing her thoughts on having a big family. She opened up about raising 4 kids and pushed back on people saying that large families are overwhelming and unfair to kids because someone always gets left out or overlooked. You're one of 4. Did you ever feel overlooked in your family?
Absolutely. But I also, that was the best part of my life, being a part of 4 kids, one of 4.
Oh, I thought you meant slipping under the radar.
No. I always joke. I'm like, why do you think I'm here today? Like, I talk too much. My mom and dad had to give me the center of attention talks. I was the little performer in the family. And yet I wouldn't have it any other way if it changed the dynamics of how I grew up.
Right.
I would never presume to know what's overwhelming to someone else. So when I see people that have 7 kids and they're running around, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I love that.
Right.
I just know what I'm capable of. And so I would never presume that they're not neglecting their kids or it's too much for them. Go you. Like, people decide that for themselves. For me, I know that I always wanted 4. And then as I got older and just having 1 was getting to be like, is that going to happen? Having 3 was a blessing. I also realized to know and love my kids on the level I want, there wouldn't be enough time in the day. I'm already stretched.
Right.
And their lives are getting more complex, busier. And I love them all. So it's almost like to have that 4th would have been for me. And I would never have regretted it. Families that have more, it's awesome. But knowing that part, I want to meet another kid. And I'm sure you felt that. Like, to meet the kids is so addictive. But to raise the kids is a lot different. And I think that's the part where I would have been shortchanging my family.
I get that. I do. I sometimes think it would have been fun to have a third.
Yeah.
And maybe have a boy. But at the same time, I'm sure I just would have had another redheaded girl. And
You're a girl dad through and through.
yeah, I think that's just that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm pretty happy.
No, and it's
Yeah.
a great vibe, girls in a family. Like
Yeah.
Max said at points when we did consider it, he goes, our luck, we'd get another boy. He just wanted, once he met Sandra, he just wanted girls.
Yeah,
So-
I get that. Well, speaking of family and your family, I heard your sister gave you a book that really summed up you and your daughter.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Tell me about this.
So when Sandra was little, I kept thinking, we put kids in boxes all the time with marketing and how we market toys and everything's pink for little girls. And by the way, pink's my favorite color, which is not landing the point I'm making, that we put little kids in a box. We
I
tell them
remember
who
the Alec doll fight of 2015 or something.
No,
Yeah.
the Mimi fight.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, point being that I never wanted to do princessy things. If Sandra wanted to be a princess, I'd let her. But I wanted her to tell me what kind of girl she was,
Right.
because I was a girl that didn't quite fit in the box. I loved dressing up and I loved having babies. I didn't call them dolls, babies. I'd wash them. I'd take care of them. I wanted babies. But I also climbed trees. I had skin knees. I ramped dirt bikes. So I was a mix. You almost couldn't put me in one category. And then I get this book for Sandra from my sister, and it's all about being a princess. And I thought, this is when you feel like nobody saw you growing up. I'm
Yeah.
like, no one knows me. This is not my thing. And then I read the book. And as I read the book, it's the story of a little girl who's playing dress up, but then there's this opportunity to go outside and jump in puddles and get messy. And the last page is, maybe I'll be a princess tomorrow. And I literally almost cried the first time I read
Aw.
it, because I was so anti-princess vibes. And I work at a company that's all about princesses. But I just wanted Sandra to decide who she was.
Right.
And that book, I felt so seen, because you can be a princess and be muddy and dirty and scrapes. And so I always call her my warrior princess. I said, be proud of the warrior, be proud of the princess. You can do both.
What's the name of the book?
I got to look at the actual front page, but it's the cutest book.
Maybe I'll be a princess tomorrow. I think we have the cover here.
Summer, why do you let him hold these things? Couldn't you have done that in edit? This guy is like beating the hell out of this joke.
That's what I do. That's what I do. No, that's very sweet. And
It's very
very
sweet.
much your vibe. I like that
Yes.
very much. All right. On that note, thank you for joining me today, Sarah.
Thanks for having me, Brian. I now get why I was invited today. You had angst to work out.
That's exactly why. The book is called Today I'll Be a Princess.
Today I'll be a princess.
Yes, but of course we find out at the end tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Thank you for joining me today, Sarah. Tomorrow I'll be back with Joy Behar. Very exciting.
Yay.
And
so tomorrow you'll get beaten up.
yeah, tomorrow I'll get beaten up. I'll look like you.
I can't. I'm done.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm done.